Well, welcome back. In the previous segment, we had asked you a series of questions and talked to you about how you got to the point where you've come to us to ask the question, what should I plant? Well, now we're going to talk to you about the very first important thing that we're going to talk about is going to be soils.
We got to ask you the question about your soils because we have to understand what's going to provide the foundation for that plant. Soils provide everything from an anchorage point for that plant to the nutrient warehouse that the plants are going to draw upon. So understanding what your soils are is extremely important to knowing what your resource base is for what will survive in your area.
And so in Wyoming, we're going to ask you about where it is that you're located, what kind of elevations that you've got, what your slope and topography are. The NRCS has done a really great job of putting together soils maps and ecological site descriptions, and because each different kind of ecological site or piece of the landscape has a little different kind of potential based on the various kinds of properties that the soils have. Are you in a clay soil, or is it loamy, is it sandy? How deep is it? Is it rocky? How windy are you? A whole bunch of questions like that. We're going to ask you that because it has a tremendous amount of importance in the kinds of plants that we'll plant there, what kinds of potential that those plants might have, whether they're going to be sustainable. In order to put together a prescription for you of the seeds that you want on a particular piece of land, we're going to ask you a whole bunch of questions like that.
One caution when we start talking about soils is you're thinking about what you're going to do to that land to be able to plant something. Sometimes tillage is a part of that. And tillage can pose some dangers from wind erosion to water erosion. And so as you think about what you're going to do to that land in your particular location, you have to think about those dangers, and you don't want to lose that topsoil. So ways that if you are in a highly exposed area, ways that you can minimize the amount of tillage that you're doing and decrease the amount of that exposure to those elements will probably be a good thing to help you retain as much topsoil as you can and prevent it from either blowing away or washing away.
So it's going to be real helpful to us if when we start talking to you on the phone, you can explain to us whether the soil drains. When it rains on the soil, does it drain quickly? Does it dry out quickly? Will it blow in the wind? If you've been out digging post holes, how far is it to bedrock, or are you running into cobble rock or gravel? When the soil gets wet, is it slick? Does it gob up on your shoes? Those kinds of questions. We'll ask you those.
Yep. And we'll put a link in this video to the Web Soil Survey, and that's a tool that NRCS has developed to help you go online using an online tool and determine what your soils are in your particular area.
Good job, Dallas.
All right, we'll pick it up next time.